Show you how to do a iPad 10th generation LCD. As you can see, I'm heating it up and screen does not look very good. Totally messed up. My glass is not cracked. We're going to keep it that way, and I'm going to show you how. You don't need that many tools, primarily just a heat pad or a way to heat up the screen. A game changer is going to be a suction cup tool. This is going to allow me to not use straight metal on glass, but I will be using an opening tool such as this. And then we're going to have to clean up the frame. So I have some, you can see some of my adhesive back here. This is my, I don't know, mobile setup. I only have so much light, so I'm gonna get to it. The screen does, so if your power button is right here, your screen opens like a book this way. So power button right here, the screen opens this way. So we're gonna start over here by taking our suction cup tool. And then something else you can do is you can use isopropyl alcohol very sparingly. The technique that I have is basically just pulling the adhesive out, and then I replace it once my screen is off. So as you can see, a heat mat really helps. So there's a total of 10 Torx T4 screws. There's 6 silver along the bottom, and then there's 4 along the top. And for some odd reason, some models of iPads have a 2 Phillips screws down here. The LCD is held down by some of this like sort of epoxy, but it's really easy to break free. Pretty much all you got to do is just lift up like that. In order for me to clean up the frame, I need to pull off my screen. My screen has 2 flexes right here. And then you have another for the microphone, so that's a total of 6 Phillips. And then we also have a battery screw, and then we're going to need to isolate the battery before we go disconnecting anything. Instead of putting a battery isolation tool between the battery and the port, I like to prop an opening tool next to it, as it dramatically lowers the chance of accidentally bending one of the pins. And if you bend one of the pins, you got to pull the whole board out, try to rebend it. If that doesn't work, then you got to actually solder on a new connector, which I can do, but it's far easier to just do this. And now that the battery is isolated and there's no power, we pull out our plates, and then we can just disconnect. So I can take my screen and set it aside. So the next steps from here to clean up the frame are roughly in order using a chisel bit. This is a 17A. I'm going to clean up the frame. After that, I'm going to go in with some isopropyl alcohol. After that, I'm going to use some 3M adhesive primer. It doesn't have to be 3M. This is just what I use. The links to to most of this stuff are in my Amazon page. In the description, there's a link to that. And here we go. So as you can see, it's not perfect, but this will keep it on pretty well. And it is Tessa 61395. Once again, there's a link. I believe there's a link in my page. If not, you can find it on iFixit, and you can also find it on eTech Parts. There we go. So make sure our battery is isolated. Remove our battery isolator, plug in our battery. Keep in mind, there is an orientation with these. You'll notice that there's a little notch because you don't want to accidentally tear or damage your screen. Same thing here, the notch faces the screen. This one is a little bit more obvious. You have the wider notch for the LCD right here. So for whatever reason, my vendor, the LCDs that I get don't have this bracket. I guess I could separate it. I just don't know what good that would do. I think it's anchored in there pretty well, so I'm just gonna install it as is. If you do have one of these, you don't have to use one of these. But you just want to make sure that you get, any and all dust off of the underside of the screen. There's also a film that's on here that we're going to peel off. I always start with the adhesive first. Then we peel off the film for our LCD. Then we seal up the iPad, and we don't forget about our last adhesive right here. I probably should have tested the screen before sealing it up, but generally, if you can touch 1, 2, 3, or 7, 8, 9. The screen is in 2 different sections. If you can touch the 1, 2, 3, that covers the top half. If you can cover 7, 8, 9, that covers the bottom half. So I'm going to call this a success. Thank you for watching.